What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Gran Turismo 6 race car build. My vehicle today is the RUF RGT. Now this vehicle is interesting. It's a RUF, so it's basically a Porsche, but they don't have the license to Porsche, so they have RUF. This car starts off with 499 pp. I've managed to get right now when it's 550 pp upgraded, it's got 504 brake horsepower, which isn't bad. 1,184 kilograms is how much it weighs. Once again, not too bad at all. Power to weight ratio 2.34 kilograms per brake horsepower, so the exact same ratio as the Range Rover Evoque that went a little while ago. Something weird about this car though, it's rear wheel drive, but it's also rear engined. So the engine is in the very back of the car, which makes this car a little bit unusual. Now there are a couple of reasons why I think this car isn't great. You may see on the footage now, it's quite slidey. And when I say quite slidey, I mean it's slidey and it's twitchy. This is by far, no doubt about it, the hardest car I have had to drive, like all this series so far. It's definitely the hardest car to drive, and it's not really that good. Now this could be down to the engine being in the back, so the weight being, I'm guessing, further to the back. That could be it, maybe just the way the engine's positioned, maybe that's what makes it slide. But there's also another thing. So when I do these race car builds, every car gets race soft tires, race brakes, and racing hard suspension. Now this car got the tires and it got the brakes. However, you couldn't get racing hard suspension on this car. It came from stock. It came with racing soft suspension, but you couldn't change it. So well, you could change it to fully customizable, but I don't tune on this series. So this car has racing soft suspension, whereas every other car so far has had racing hard. Now I don't know if this is really what's making it slide around everywhere. I'm not too sure, but it definitely does seem to, move around quite a lot. A bit more body roll with this. Since the suspension is softer, it kind of moves around more. So maybe that is causing it to be twitchy, because this is quite a hard car to drive. I mean, you'll see here, it is all over the place. Like, it's so hard to drive. This is Gran Turismo. The cars are never really too bad in Gran Turismo. Usually you have a decent amount of grip with whatever car you got, but with this series, I have traction control on 5 for this series, because that's what I started out when I started doing the series. That's what I had it on. So I keep it how it is. Skid recovery is off. ABS on 1. It's all the same for every car, but this just doesn't grip like anything else. There wasn't one lap where I didn't get tire smoke with this car. I mean, you just saw around that first corner there. It was wiggling around everywhere, and it is just such a hard car to drive. I really don't like this car. It's cool. I don't mind Porsches. It's a decent looking car. It sounds cool. I mean, it's Gran Turismo. They all sound like vacuum cleaners, but it's not terrible. And it does look pretty cool. I like this car. It looks nice, but God, it just doesn't drive well at all. And I'm not going to be showing interior view for this car because it's got a simplified interior, so it's a bit boring. But look here, this is the first car I've had on the series where I have gone off the track. Look at this. Round the final corner, I got a big twitch on, and I tried corrected it a little bit too much, and I managed to go off the track into the wall. That is the first car ever on this series that I've managed to do that with. First car ever. I've never done that with a car on this series before. I mean, you look around that first corner there, look how much it's just twitching around, and it's just so hard to drive, and it's really not good. I will be honest, I was expecting a bit more from this car. I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. I mean, I thought, rough, because I wanted to check this car out, and I just thought, something interesting, rough. Sure, let's see how it goes. We haven't had anything like it before. Rear engine, rear wheel drive, something a little bit different. I was expecting it to be relatively normal, but I was wrong. This is definitely 100% the hardest car I've had to drive on this series so far. The only other car that I've really had oversteer issues, like big oversteer issues with, was the Lotus Carlton, and I mean, that wasn't too bad. That had 100 more horsepower than this though. so it's really unusual. Anyway, we go on to the lap time, and yeah, the RUF doesn't do particularly well. It's in 13th place out of 15 with a 56.323. So yeah, it's back down there with the Mustang, with the Audi. It does manage to beat those. 4/10 of a second off the BRZ, 5/10, half a second off the Silvia. So yeah, I mean the Range Rover Evoque, which had the same power to weight ratio as the RUF, I mean, it's a way down on that. It's over half a second down on that. So yeah, the RUF really wasn't a good car. Definitely the worst car I've had on this series so far. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what other cars we can have in the future. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any cars that you'd like to see on this series, put them down in the comments and I'll be sure to check them out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.